Hello, my name is Patrick Farrell. Hello, my name is Patrick Farrell, and I am Patrick Farrell from MakeMoneyFromCoding.com. I help you make more money coding online. And welcome back to the fourth video. If you're new to this series, clearly I am getting very new to this whole streaming experience. And if you caught the last video 3, I went through a little bit of how I'm keeping track of code changes, but I couldn't show you everything, and now I think everything is working again. So on video 2, we had been creating the ability for us to create a blogging engine for MakeMoneyFromCoding.com. So if you don't know, MakeMoneyFromCoding.com is a platform you can upload your code and start selling it to customers quickly and easily. You can upload services, you can upload code, and you can upload finalized code as well and start making money from that. Give me a second, I'm gonna get some water. So what I want to start to talk about in this video is, well, I spent 2 weeks building this, which quite honestly is crazy because it would have taken months or even a year to build this particular piece of software, and I've done it in 2 weeks with AI. The thing about it is the first part of the process where you build the software is only part of the thing. The second 80% is actually to get people to use the software and actually get interested in the software itself and start to take action on it. And the goal is to make this whole process easier, so you can keep vibe coding, you can keep creating software, and then customers are seeing your services and start to buy your code. And I really haven't seen a good platform out there like that. So the goal is to create this. But along that path, what we need is a developer like blog, so I can start to drive more traffic to this site and get more people getting started. And so that's what we're working on right now, is a blog engine. One of the things I wanted to do was create a markdown style blog engine so it would make more pages. Yesterday, I actually had it develop this beautiful white paper page. And if you go read this now, it's really, really good in my opinion. It created this beautiful page with just a white paper, and it actually wrote a lot of this content for me. I did guide it. And that's important to know when you are building with software and you're building with AI, you need to guide the process. You need to tell it what it needs to know, and you're not outsourcing your thinking to AI. AI becomes the doer of the tasks, and you guide it towards where you want to go. Sure, it does know more things than you might know about a particular topic, but you still want to say, I want this output, this is an example, and from that example, I want you to create this. And that's what I'm doing here, is to create a place for you to be able to do that. So I thought, okay, this white paper is a really, really good and nice looking piece of code here. And what I want you to do is create me a blogging engine that allows me to dynamically create pages like this. So on video 2, I actually gave it the prompt that allowed me to start this process, and I have not looked at the result of that yet. So that's what we're gonna be doing in this video right here. I'm gonna check and make sure I can see the chat and see if there's a way for me to do that in real time. It looks like there is, so I can see participants. Awesome. So, all right, well, from this, we're gonna now go to back to Claude, and what we're doing here is we are using Claude Code to build this new feature. Now, what I want to show you is what was the result of the last prompt, because that's what we're working on here. So I told it to create a blogging feature. It created a blog post. It looks like it created a table to hold the blog posts. It created query functions to get those blog posts. It created routes so that you can actually access those blog posts from the client. If you guys are interested, I can go over a whole video on each one of these topics, because this is a lot of stuff on databases, and then this is about how you connect your client to the server. It looked like it created an interface for me. So there's 3 parts of any piece of software. There's the view layer, which is what you see on the website here. there is the database layer and there's a logic layer. And this had to create all three of those. And that's what we're reviewing here before we even start this program. All right, so it created a blogging listing, it created blogs, it created a rendering. So it's taking the markdown and rendering out to a blog post. And it provided a lot of security practices. Honestly, this is crazy. Like this, I don't know how long it took when I left the last video because I went out towards the pool. By the way, I'm doing all this in Tulum, Mexico right now. So if you guys want to travel with me and learn this stuff, would love to have you join along. But awesome. So we now have this new feature. What we're going to do is we're actually going to start and now see what it built for us. And I want to set some expectations here. I have very rarely seen it create something that is totally work from scratch and it has no bugs when you get it going. That doesn't mean it won't do it this time. However, usually there's some back and forth with the code where you feed errors back into Claude and it'll fix it for you, and then you get to the point where it's actually working. So what we're going to do is we're going to use a command pnpm dev, and that's going to run a local version of that on my local computer. So again, I talked about in the previous video, this is make money from coding.com. This is running on the cloud in Vercel. But we want to test not the cloud version right now, we want to test the local version. So this is localhost running on port 3000, and that is my local version. So let's see, and it looks like it created a little blog section for me, and it's compiling. So when you're doing this, it takes a little time, and then we're going to click on this blog, and I have not seen this yet. This is the first time I'm seeing something that AI has created for us. So let's see what it did and if it's useful. And we have to kind of go through and say, okay, is this what we want, or do we need to direct it to do something else? And these are the requests here. So I'm wondering, okay, it did go to the blog. So you see, okay, when I click this button to the blog, it got a request here to say get blog. And this is the new blog. It looks pretty nice. Insights into software craftsmanship. Dive deep into software development, architecture, best practices. All right, so this is what it decided that I should have as the hero section of the blog. Now, I told it I want this to be an admin-only feature because this is the blog for the software itself. This is not the blog for each individual user of the platform. This is the blog for the software as a whole. So this is going to be an admin-only feature to make blog posts. So what we're going to do is we're going to log in, and this particular instance, this local instance, is what is hosted on a local Postgres database running in Docker, and it is connected to my local instance here, and we're testing locally. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to log in with test@test.com, and there's just like this basic user section here that we're testing with. So we're logging in, and we're going to hope. Now, it seems slow because it's doing this compiling and allowing us to change things in real time. It is faster when you deploy it to the cloud, and I'm actually learning how to make this faster in general when you're developing locally, but it's compiling, I think, right now. So we can go back and see this compile. Okay, we're in. Now, let's see it show up. And we're waiting and we're waiting. It's doing some stuff. We're gonna click around. I think it's also the fact that I'm now overusing my computer here, and this is why I actually need to get to the point where I'm making more money from my own software here, and I'm going to go buy a new computer. So that's the next goal, is to buy a faster computer so I can stream and code and do all these things for you all at the same time. So let's see, and it doesn't. We're trying to wait for it to compile this whole page, and what it should show is a admin section here. And there is an issue, so let's see if that is part of the problem. Maybe that's part of the problem here. Let's see. Now you can click, when you're doing this development, the nice part about this little environment that we have here is it gives you these, the errors that it's generating in real time. I think that's part of why it's slow. And we can feed that back in to Claude here. Whoop. We're getting there. Okay. Now, all right, so now we have an admin section, which is the users. This was already there, by the way, on the back end side. Let's see. Now it doesn't look like it created a way for me to actually interface with that blog. So what we need to do is, we're going to go back and let's avoid that for the time being. We're going to move this off the screen, and we're going to give it a instruction here, and we're going to do a screenshot. So we're going to take this screenshot, and we're going to move this screenshot into Claude over here. So say, I don't know why that didn't do that. I think it's the fact that I'm trying to stream at the same time, which is why this is so slow. So we're gonna move this in here. Nice. So that's, if you can give it images of what it created, it's actually able to recognize that a lot faster for you. So what we're gonna do is say, I see the front facing public blog page, but I don't see an option here to edit or add new blogs on the admin feature. So please create a link under the admin section for blog so we can create new blog posts. All right, so we're waiting for it to come back, and that's how we do it. So we see, okay, it did this. We were looking for a blog feature, and it forgot to do it here on the admin section, and we're waiting for it to come back and actually create that for us now. So what we're going to do is wait, and says I'll add a blog feature to the admin sidebar. And while I do that, I'm going to check and make sure that everything is going well with the live stream. And guys, this is the first time I'm really doing these like live coding sessions, so I would love for you to comment in the comment section what you like about this. Is it going too slow? Is it going too fast? And do you find this valuable for like watching me do this in real time? You can see it's actually spending a lot of tokens to compact the conversation, and this is part of the process, is learning how to more efficiently use the AI, so you use tokens less as well, and that's something else that I'm learning about right now myself. So it's compacting this conversation because it essentially has this context window, and it knows all this stuff, but eventually that context window maximizes, and then it has to compact it back down, and that's what it's doing right now. So let's just make sure that YouTube is showing this video. And I'm going to go and kind of do like a little YouTube inception at this point. We're going to go in and view my channel. And it looks like I got one person watching, which is probably me. But if you guys are here, feel free to comment. I would love to see comments on if you guys are watching along, and that'll help me as well to see what you want to know more about. So it's still compacting the conversation. This was a big compact. That's a lot of tokens there. So probably because this feature was so big that it's still trying to compact everything it did before. So it's compacting the conversation. And let's see, stats, rendering, cool. I'm learning what to show you guys, learning how this all works. Live chat. Oh, there we go. Can you teach someone privately? Yeah, I can definitely teach privately. If you want to reach out to me, we could do private coaching on this subject. I do that. There is an investment in that if you're interested, but just letting you know. All right, so it's finally compacted the conversation, and now we are going through and seeing it continue to build. All right, so it's perfect. I found the dashboard layout with a sidebar. Like, guys, I recommend that you watch this. Like, I've gotten to the point where I can do 2 of these at once, but honestly, it's better to just stay focused because this is doing stuff that would have taken you by yourself so much time. And it's important for you to know what it created. It's important for you to still be able to know what it's actually doing. So, all right, so it created a new route here, admin dashboard, admin blogs. And what we're gonna do is it's gonna re-render this page here. And there we go. So now we get this new blog thing over here. So remember, I'm just gonna reiterate. I gave it this new prompt. The prompt went off and said, okay, I need to add this thing, and then it actually added it. So now we can click on blog posts, and we're gonna wait for it to come back. Again, my computer's probably maxed out, which is why this is going slow. But we're getting there. So, all right, now it's compiling. It's gonna show me the page. Remember, this is the first time I'm seeing this. This is the first time I'm ever seeing this. I've told AI what to do, what to create, and it's coming back with this new feature for me. So let's go into new blog post, and now it's gonna compile that page. And let's see what it creates for us. So keep up the questions in the comment section. I can actually see those comments now, and I'm learning how to best view everything to keep track of everything for you guys. Top fans, nice. Live chat, top chat. All right, well, we got this. All right, now we got our title, we got our slug, we got our author, we got a brief excerpt, and then we got a markdown. Now this I don't like. Interesting. It created a place for me to uploaded a URL for the cover image. This should allow me to upload an image by itself to the platform. So what we're gonna do is, I don't like that, so we're gonna copy this. We're gonna go back here and say, on the new blog post page, notice I put that in quotes because I want it to recognize that this, what I'm telling it here, is this right here. And you want to give it as much context as possible when you are telling it, because it has a large code base it's now searching over. And like I could even like say, okay, like on this page here, and now I'm giving it context on where to find this page that it's done. And then I also gave it the image because I noticed that you have the image URL as a image as upload a URL. Make this so I can upload an image directly and it stores it for us rather than me having to upload it somewhere else and put the URL here. So now what we're doing is, I don't like this, I don't like that that's like that, and I'm gonna say, please change it for me. And it's gonna go out and it's gonna find this and it's gonna make that change for me. And you see it's searching and it's trying to find that information. So anyway, hopefully this is helpful. Hopefully it's helpful that you guys can watch this in real time and see what it's doing. So it's trying to find it, and then it's trying to update what it say. I see there's already an API upload endpoint that handles file uploads. Now let me check if this endpoint exists and how it works. All right, so it already has the ability through the current software to upload. It just didn't allow a blog feature to do it. So that's what it's doing right here. It's saying, okay, I can upload a cover, an avatar, a product, a file, a system, or I can upload a blog. And that's what we're doing here is we're now uploading and adding this blog feature. So you notice that on video 2, you watched me create the first blog feature from a prompt, but it's not perfect, right? You can't expect this to come back to you as a perfect working system because the AI only can do what you've told it. And if you weren't clear on every single little feature, it may miss some things that you want. It might what's called hallucinate something that it thought you wanted. And now the process is let's go and fix the things that weren't perfect so that we can actually get what we're looking for. And this is engineering, guys. This is real engineering to say, okay, like we're automating, we're designing, we're building, now we're testing, and then we're feeding that back into the design. And we're going back and forth. And this is the first time I'm actually creating a YouTube series to show you in real time what is happening. And this is live. This is me really actually doing this, and hopefully within a day or two you'll see this new feature on MakeMoneyFromCoding.com. The goal for MakeMoneyFromCoding.com is for you to be able to upload your code. So as you go through the same exact process and you build software like I'm showing you right now, you're going to be able to upload the result of that build to the platform, specify a price for the software, and sell it. You could either sell the source code or you could sell a compiled version of it as well. And then there's kind of a couple different use cases for that. If you wanted to sell the source code, that could be very valuable for someone that wants to build on top of your source code or wants to deploy your source code. It's kind of like an open source version, but you're getting paid. The other option would be that you could compile it and then upload the resulting file. And you've probably already done this in other places in your life when you're buying software or installing software, where, especially if you're using a MacBook or a Mac computer, you get a .dmg file. And that .dmg file is the install file. So basically the source code, which is what you're seeing happen right now, we're compiling and messing with the source code. That gets compiled into a .dmg file that gets installed, and you can upload that .dmg file to MakeMoneyFromCoding.com, and then you could sell it. So, all right, well, excellent. I've successfully updated the new and edit blog post features. It allowed us to do that. It added that new feature, has direct upload progress. So I'm gonna actually save this output right here, just so we have it, because sometimes this is valuable, especially when you are learning how to do this and then you're creating valuable like prompts and things like that for your own business. And we're going to say update blog feature. Now I'm going to go back and try to find our prompt, and I sometimes forget to do this originally. And all right, so I'm going to copy this. I'm going to go back here. I'm saving this, and this is helpful. It's really, really helpful to save this because in the future you might want to go back and see what it did. All right, so now we're going to go back to the thing, and you notice it already compiled it, and we're already seeing the changes. So it made those changes, and before we had to specify it, but now we can upload it. So let's try to make our first blog. So I'm going to say, I'm guessing I probably need to upload let's use this image. Learn how to vibe code and to build software with Claude Code. All right, so it didn't seem to really do that very well where it did this URL. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to fix that on another video. But let's say learn to code with Claude. So that's the slug. The author is Patrick Farrell. Are you looking to code? Learn how to vibe code? All right, so now what I want to do is I'm actually going to, what we're going to do is actually go over back to, we're going to go to Claude itself. So now I'm going over here because I want to create a markdown file, and I'm going to, for now, just to be fast and show you on this video, I don't want to have to format this and work through this. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to Claude and say, help me create a simple application or a simple markdown file that talks about how to get started vibe coding with Claude. Claude is memory. This is a new feature. Let's say use memory. This is very similar to ChatGPT now. All right, so help me create a simple blog style markdown file that talks about getting started vibe coding with Claude Code. Talk about the basics of what you can do, what problem it solves with creating complex software, and how to use Claude to build things that would have taken months in just hours. All right, so it's going to go out and it's going to help me create a markdown file. Now remember, I told this blogging feature because I want to create this simple for now and make this kind of like easy for me. If you're a developer, you might know what Markdown is, and it's essentially this like very simple text-based format, and it is creating that for me now. So what we're going to do is wait for it to come back and finish this, and then we're going to copy that in here just as a test, and we're going to see what happens. So let's, and clearly like this is a case where it kind of is thinking for me, right? Like I told it this, and it's getting all this detail and all this information. Now, I think that we should say author is actually Claude Code, like Patrick plus Claude. And nice. Okay, so view your blog post. I've created engaging. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to download that as a PDF file or a Markdown file, and let's just download that here. And what we're going to do is we're going to go over to downloads. We're going to open that with Visual Studio Code, and this is what we get, right? So this is what we get, and what we're going to do is we're going to highlight all this, and then we're going to paste that here, and then we're going to hit publish, and we're going to see what happens. Nice. And that we're going to hit this. So this is the first time I've seen this page too, by the way. And obviously it did what I asked it for. It created a blog post table. And let's see what it looks like. Remember, this is the first time, guys. Like literally you're watching me build this feature for the first time on this platform. And it did a pretty good job. Look at that. Like clearly there's some issues like that. Like I wonder, we have to look at the Markdown file and see, and there's some issues with the way it's styling it. But I will say that's not bad. So learn how to blog, Claude Code. Now remember, the cool thing about this too is, man, like once you've built this one time, you can use this for other features, right? Like I can use this in other pieces of software and stuff like that. So let's go back to our blog and see, and it did it, right? Like this is a complex, wow, this is really nice actually. So I'm gonna end the video here, and you can see, okay, like it's giving me the ability to create blog posts. The blog posts end up as posts here. I can see it, and then I see the actual blog post feature, and it shows up. And what I will need to do now is kind of go back and forth fixing some of these like formatting issues. But this is really incredible. and I'm very impressed with how quickly and how great this looks. With we did this and there was honestly no errors. Like, we have 0 errors, and like, this would have been so difficult in the past to do this without errors and going back and forth. And I don't know how many times I've ended up building software where I had to like spend hours finding a semicolon. And now we have an entire blogging feature that's working and online. And the next step will be, and I'll do this in the next video, is we'll take this and we'll upload this to Vercel once I've gone back and forth and fixed a few features, and then you'll be able to see it on the live site. And we'll do that on the next video. So thank you guys for watching. I hope this was helpful. I hope that you enjoyed it. And feel free to comment below. Please subscribe and follow along, like this video if it was helpful. And make sure if you have questions on anything